Episode 005, we talk buying a foreclosure and home buying myths. Welcome everyone, this is episode 005 of Real Estate Talk with Jason Gelios. Thank you for watching. We have a big show today. Man, I gotta tell you, the questions that have been coming in have been awesome. So thank you. Thank you for sending those in. That's the fuel for my show. I want to answer your questions and then provide value in return. So, a couple things that I'm asked often. All right. Some home buyer myths. We're going to talk about whether they're true or false. And this is huge if you are looking to buy a home and buying a foreclosure. So, let's get right into it. Foreclosures. Some things you have to know about them. We're going to keep it brief here. However, there are some things that you have to know. So, typically, a bank-owned home foreclosure is in as-is condition, meaning the bank's not going to do anything to fix it. You buy it as is. You're responsible for the work that has to be done. Number two, they typically need work. Most bank-owned homes that I've seen, foreclosures, they need work. They need a lot of work. So just know too that if they need work, chances are they need permits from the city. So that can be an additional cost. You want to be aware of that. Number three, it takes longer to hear back most of the time. You put in an offer on a bank-owned home, it could take weeks, it could take months. It just depends on the bank and how fast they are. So know that it's not something to actually consider if you are on a time frame. And everyone asks me this, are bank-owned homes a good deal? Well, sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. If a house is 20 grand less compared to what else is available in that neighborhood, but you have to put in money, 10, 20 grand to fix it up, it really isn't a good deal then. So most of the time they are below the market value so that they can, dump it and sell it. So it just depends on the area and the work that has to be done. But just know that going into a bank-owned home, there's going to be things that you're going to have to do extra compared to just a regular house with a regular seller. So that's the topic on foreclosures. So, okay, let's talk about some top home buyer myths. These certainly aren't all of them, but it covers the major home buying myths out there. Okay, number one, I have a list. First step is finding a home. False. First step is getting approved. Talk to a loan officer, get approved, not qualified. There's a difference. I have other videos based on that. Get approved before you go out and look for homes. Number two, 30-year mortgage is best. False. Look at how long you're going to be in the house and look at other loan options. 15-year mortgage, 5-year adjustable, things like that. Just look at how long you're going to be in the house and what gives you the best rate and the lowest payment. Obviously, a 15-year fixed rate mortgage is going to have a higher payment but less interest compared to a 30-year loan. So a 30-year loan is not bad, but it's not the best option out there if you're going to be in the house short term. Okay, 20% down payment is a must. No, false. You don't have to have a 20% down payment to purchase a home. There's mortgage options out there where you can put as little as, I heard now, 1% down. So it just depends on what you are approved for. Again, talk with a loan officer. If you need a loan officer's business card information, I can get you that. But ultimately, you don't have to have 20% down to buy a house. Many people think that the only upfront cost in buying a home is down payment. Well, that's false. There's other upfront costs. Appraisal, home inspection. Sometimes you have to have a well and septic inspection. So there are other upfront costs. If you're working with a loan officer and a realtor, you will know those up front. Next one, you can't buy a house with bad credit. False. You can buy a house if you have less than perfect credit. There's other options. FHA is a great option to go through. Ultimately, get approved with your lender to make sure that you can get a mortgage before you go out looking for a house. So you don't have to have perfect credit to buy a house. Asking prices are strong. False. Everything's negotiable, especially in life. So if someone's asking a certain price for their home, you can come in less if you want. But let's be fair, you don't want to lowball a seller if it doesn't make sense for the area. If a house has been sitting for months, okay, you can typically come in a little bit lower compared to a house that's been on the market for 5 days. But just know that asking prices are not rock solid. Everything is negotiable. Schools don't matter if you don't have kids. Well, schools do matter. Schools, good schools or bad schools, typically affect value. So if it's a desirable area and people are trying to get their kids into that school district, you will have a better time selling your house down the road compared to if you live in an area where it's not as desirable. So, look at the school district even if you don't have kids, because one, you never know. Two, community plays a huge part into your housing values. So therefore, if you're purchasing a house, which is typically one of the biggest transactions in someone's life, you want to make sure that you know the community. So walk the area, look at the crime stats, right, through the police station, and then look at the school district. Look at everything outside of the house as well as inside the house. So last one, I don't need a realtor. This is obviously false, not because I'm a realtor, but because when you're looking for a house, most houses that are listed want you to have an agent, or they would be happy to represent you on both sides, which is not as common these days. But for the most part, a realtor can really be on your side. They can help negotiate. They can look over the forms. They can make sure that you are walking into a transaction and you are best represented. And you want to have someone on your side. Plus, a buyer's agent gets paid commission from the seller, so it doesn't cost you, X amount to work with a home buying agent. So you want to have someone on your side who is representing you, and you don't want to go in it alone, especially if you're a first-time home buyer. It's just not in your best interest. So those are the top home buyer myths. I hope you liked them. I hope you liked the foreclosure tips that I shared. I appreciate everyone that watched this and actually shares it. So thank you again. I'm Jason Gelios, Realtor, and make it a great day.